Hello, my name is Leanne Ruggero. I'm a speech therapist and I work on PPA as part of my PhD at Macquarie University in Sydney, Australia. But I actually met Anna Volkmar and some of the team a few years ago when I used to work for the NHS in Cambridgeshire. It's very nice to be here today, and thank you for inviting me to share some updates on my study. I've used a quote from one of my participants to help name this talk. I decided to challenge it all. Experiences of living positively with PPA. So a bit of background about why I've done this study. As a therapist, when you have worked with lots of people, you find that people have different coping strategies. And some people have more or less resilience than others. And when I say resilience, I'm talking about the ability to become strong, healthy, or successful again after something bad happens. But we don't know why people respond differently. I'm keen to know how can we all, speech therapists, other health professionals, people with PPA and their families, help to maximize your ability to live positively. So for this study, I interviewed 10 people with PPA. They were between 1 and 4 years after when their symptoms had started. They were between 60 and 82 years old. I tried to include a wide range of people with PPA. That meant that not all participants could talk in an interview style, but they could understand me and respond in some way. I supported them to participate using speech therapy strategies. Here are the questions that I asked them. How positively are you living with PPA? Tell me about why. What helps you to live positively with PPA? What makes it difficult to live positively with PPA? And what advice would you give to others with PPA? So I'm going to tell you about some of the themes that I developed from the interview analysis. I won't go over all the results today in this short talk, but just some of the key results. There are 6 sub-themes that I'm going to explain in more detail. The first theme is the journey back to a new day-to-day life. So people spoke to me about drawing on their inner strength to get back to day-to-day life. They talked about resilience, having a positive outlook, gratitude and being grateful for the things that you have, having determination, and focusing on now and the present, and deliberately making a decision not to focus as much on the future. So they said things to me like, you've got to have a laugh. I mean, when you've got a problem like this, I think it's better just to be positive and go with it. I had one gentleman who told me that he had done a lot of traveling around the third world. He said, what I ponder occasionally is that it could have been much worse. and one other lady who told me, "My determination to challenge it got me out of a dark place." The next sub-theme I'll share with you is called The Best Things You Can Do. So many told me about the fact that it was very important to them to keep busy and to have hobbies. What those hobbies were very individual from one person to the next. But the common message was that it's really good to keep busy and do the things that are meaningful to you. And that might mean that with PPA, you have to change or adjust some of your old hobbies so that you can still maintain them. For example, I had one lady told me she still loved to watch films, but that she would put the subtitles on because that made it easier to understand. One gentleman told me he still loved to get out on his motorbike because that didn't require talking. Participants also spoke to me about the importance of having a support network, and one specifically that was engaged and really there for them. For some people, this was family or friends. Other people spoke about how they enjoyed support groups, even though they hadn't expected that they would really like them that much. It was a nice surprise for them. And other people also spoke about their relationships with their doctor or other health professionals, and the fact that if someone took the time to understand PPA and communicate with them clearly, that meant a lot. The last theme I'll tell you about is called It's Your Journey. Everyone is individual. So you might have PPA, but that doesn't mean that everybody is living exactly the same situation. People emphasized to me that you need to find the things that work for you, but also that you need to have the self-awareness and courage to say no to things sometimes. So some people were very keen to do lots of speech therapy practice, and it gave them a sense of purpose, while others felt that doing deliberate daily practice wasn't for them, and they would rather spend their time doing something more enjoyable to them. Some people wanted to go out and do activities like golf, the cinema, swimming, or travel, while others said they liked to limit how many things they scheduled every day or every week to conserve their energy and reduce fatigue. For them, they were not avoiding going out in a negative way, but they were pacing themselves as a positive coping strategy. So to sum all of this up, this is the first study of this type asking a group of people with PPA about their experiences. I found that people with PPA of all types can be supported in interviews to tell us about their experiences and their preferences. Despite having aphasia and the individual challenges that all of them had experienced, all 10 participants were able to identify some things that made it easier to be positive, which I felt was a really lovely and heartwarming thing for them to have shared with me. So I am very grateful to the participants that took part in this study with me. What are the implications of this study? I hope that we can use the results to increase awareness about living with PPA and what are some helpful strategies. And we could increase awareness among health professionals and also as education for newly diagnosed people and their families. I also hope we can use these results to develop new treatments to promote living positively. Thank you very much for inviting me and for your time. And big thanks to my participants who gave me their time and their stories. And a big thanks go to my PhD supervisors, Professor Lindsay Nichols and Dr. Karen Crude. I am seeing people with PPA at the moment for similar studies on quality of life. If you would like to be involved in my research, I can give you more information. Just contact me with my email, or I'm sure that one of the team members at UCL can put you into contact with me. Thank you.